Thank you so much for inviting me and the chance to be here today. I wish you a very good morning and hope you had a fresh start today. My name is Clara Bünger and I'm one of the co-founder of Equal Rights Beyond Borders. And I would give a very short introduction about Equal Rights Beyond Borders and about what we do in our work. So my agenda is the second slide. I hope you can see it because I'm not able to see it, but if what I'm saying is different to what you can read on the PowerPoint presentation, then please just let me know. First I will speak about the situation at EU external borders and in the second about the work of Equal Rights, what we are doing at the external borders. So the situation at the external borders, as the next slide, so it's the third slide, as you might know, had a very brief turn in 2016 after the so-called Summer of Migration. The EU stakeholders, together with Turkey, established the EU-Turkey deal, which limited the migration movement very harsh. In the EU-Turkey deal, it was written that all protection seekers arriving at Eastern Aegean Islands are to be returned to Turkey, and this was one of the turning points of migration policy in EU politics. First, the Greek asylum law was also introduced in 2016. It was the first Greek asylum law established then. As well, there was a geographical restriction, which meant that the people were not allowed to leave the islands at in the region of the Aegean in Greece, and the hotspots were established on 5 of those islands in Greece, which were Lesbos, Chios, Samos, Leros, and Kos. And in the beginning, people were detained in the EU hotspots, and which was on a later stage not possible any longer because too many people were on the islands. In fact, the consequence was that, of course, the EU hotspots were overcrowded, and the readmissions to Turkey, they did not work out because people were massively acting against the decisions to be deported back to Turkey. So they were challenging the decisions, the readmission decisions. So people were more people were stuck on the islands, and then there was another change in the Greek. On the Greek national politics level, where in 2019, because there were elections in 2019, and Mitsotakis, the new prime minister, announced that he will have a paradigm change in the migration politics, and this was leading to the situation that in the beginning of 2020, in March, the asylum system was suspended, and the work of NGOs and civil society were very hard criminalized. And in September 2020, you might have seen the pictures of the burning of Moria camp. There was a big fire on the 8th and 9th of September where, in a very short time, more than 12,000 people lost their place to stay. I cannot call it home. And this was the situation, or this is a brief overview of the situation. Of course, there's more to say, but as well, in June 2022, Greece also established Turkey as a safe third country for asylum seekers from Afghanistan, which was another step to externalize the migration politics. on EU level and national level on Greek side. On the next slide, on the fourth slide, I will briefly speak about the living conditions at the external borders. I think many of us have seen the pictures, and I have worked by myself for 1 year on Chios as a lawyer. The living conditions are inhuman, and they never changed to a level where you cannot call it inhuman any longer. There is no access to fair asylum procedures for no one on the islands, and when COVID broke out, people were forced to stay in the hotspots. They were not allowed to leave, which created conditions that more people were exposed to COVID. And as well, there were high fines against refugee seekers, which they obviously couldn't pay. For example, a fine of 5,000 euros when you enter the islands without a PCR test. And of course, for us, it's clear that no one that enters on a rubber boat is carrying a PCR test with him or with her. And those people received a fine, and this is also a tool a tool to criminalize protection seekers and people on the move. Yes, as I mentioned, after the burning of Moria, 12,000 people were without shelter. So there was a big problem with those people that they could not stay anywhere. And many people got homeless. As well, what we see now, and it's also like we say, every time you think it's the worst situation, next time you will be on the islands, it is even worse than before, because now many people are just again put in systematic detention when they arrive on Greek islands, especially on Kos, which is also one of those 5 islands, including unaccompanied minors. And people are there in detention for up to 36 months, and then they will just let go and they have nothing, because after 36 months you have nothing left. In those camps that I'm talking about, the people are detained. They are established especially on Kos, on Levos, and on Samos, and they are called close controlled access centers, and they are replacing the former hotspots that we have seen in the past, like Moria or Vial on Chios, for example, or Vati on Samos. And now going to the next slide, is also showing the disaster. Can you see the picture now? Yeah, okay. It's a group of people that were stuck, that are on an island on the river of Evros. They are forced by Greek forces back to Turkey, and from Turkey back to the river, and so they are stuck on this small island. One small girl died on this small island, and no one was helping this group. And this shows precisely the situation. So I have to go to 2 slides forward to the 7th slide, because I want to speak about the work of Equal Rights Beyond Borders. We were funded in 2016 when I and 3 others went to Chios. Since then, we are providing information in the asylum procedure. We do litigation on family reunification, and we have 4 offices at the moment, one on Chios, in Berlin, in Athens, and on Kos, the island where the detention center was established, as I mentioned before. And then to the 8th, the next slide. We do asylum, we do family reunification, we do work on living conditions in those hotspots, and on the mainland in Athens. We work with unaccompanied minors, on detention cases, because also unaccompanied minors are in detention, as I mentioned. So we do act against those conditions, also with liability cases of the EU. We do legal representation of human rights defenders as well, and we do also represent people that lost their family members during pushbacks, especially on this Everest region where you saw the picture before. And also we do returns to Greece, because people are traveling further to Germany and then they might be returned to Greece, so we also represent those people. Okay, then we will go to the maybe I have time for the last two slides. As I mentioned, we do legal counseling on the rights of procedural safeguards, support with asylum registration procedure, case management. So we have a lot of cases running at the moment. We did represent more than 2,500 asylum seekers since 2016, and our success rate is over 50% when it comes to also litigation on family reunification. Also, we do publish several reports. On our homepage, you will find reports regarding the conditions in those hotspots. They are always renewed, those reports. And then on the last slide, we have one of our most important work is family reunification. So many people are traveling with their families and they are separated, and we are helping them to be reunified with their family members in other member states. I think that's it, and my time is over, and thank you very much.
Thank you.